With our last episode of Love Wins, with Mama's tribute, and most of us agreeing that Mama sure is supreme, I'm still caught up in that same wave as this next bout catches up with me in traffic. Now with my eyes drawn to the tangerine beauty of the grey clouds against the bright blue sky in its background, and even with this deep blueness, do I not forget that I am still not convinced that the sky is entirely blue, because that sure remains a perception of the extent of reach of my naked eyes. So in this moment here do I soak in the beauty playing above as I convince myself that the universe and all its elements have today conspired to bring me this message of hope, and I sure can tell that it is a beautiful day in the making. I can for now smell success in all its splendor and aroma. Now, as if I had not anticipated the kind of success the universe spoke to me about, expecting it otherwise in monetary terms, as has become the belief and habit of many, I find myself almost cursing and giving up on this amazing yet seemingly unproductive Friday, nor until I turn to my text messages and find an interesting text of invitation. An invitation to listen to an amazing real story that I hence must share. Oh, before I begin this episode hence, blessed days and pleasant nights. Welcome. Welcome to the little yet profound untold tales, hidden in sketches and broken and assembled pieces right before our eyes. Welcome to the sketches of a lady, born to win, yet set in a frame of all odds against her. Welcome. Welcome to the defiance of all downpins and the push against common belief to leave a legacy in a world designed to crush us. Welcome to your story. Welcome to my story. And welcome to our story. Now this is a story that keeps us within the confines of the city, but when the walls of Jericho start crumbling, are we forced out of its beautiful confines and cross back the Jordan into the village, and not being comfortable thence, must we return to the city and restructure the walls, as the best option in the first place was never escape but an onslaught against our fears. Now born in a little suburb within the city of Nairobi is this young beautiful lass called Casey Shege in the late 80s, before her family grew to be the complete octave scale. I mean, almost octave, in her opinion, short of two persons to complete it. The number needed to complete the octave scale, however, is of no consequence at this point, but rather is the fact that at the age of 3, our little Miss Casey becomes the parent to her own mother. Did I just set you back with this? Yes, Dad was around. But tell me, my dear trader, who will take care of a mentally ailing mama when Dad still has to go out and fend for bread? I mean, only little Casey here has to know Mama's every medication to the core and make sure she doesn't miss any, for when she does, all the blame as to why Mama missed nursing school in the first place to give birth to her would most definitely fall on her and Papa. Now with Mama as the support pillar out of the question, Casey hence takes this mantle while Dad becomes the go-to, in my opinion, quite a workable affair, till Casey has to go to school and Dad had to miss some work episodes, and with the prevailing financial willpower dwindling, not to mention the octave scale has by now grown, hence more mouths to feed, this shifts my opinion to a haze into the horizon as true to this family is forced to abandon city suburb life and go back to the village. Now help me explain to little girls and boys previously used to attending a private school and all well-kept. kids who never missed a meal or bath for lack thereof, that now they must not only live this lifestyle but also strain in terms of food availability. So back in the village, lack of proper clothing becomes a norm, and wearing shoes to school a luxury, while mama's mental state becomes a ridicule of the neighborhood. The words cursed family and mad mother no longer became strange, yet to these little souls was it a consternation to the heart. Now, unlike most of us would succumb to the effects of such stigmatization, to Casey and her troop of siblings did this become a call for action, an action that saw them come up with a slogan that said, "Now you will beat us down in the streets and social arenas, but we will smash you in the classroom and any academic event that comes our way." Relentless little lions, huh? Not to say that at one point or the other they didn't find themselves pinned against the wall of humiliation with tears as solace, but still they soldiered on. Away from this and going on to be among the best in her village, with a childhood dream of wanting to wear that maroon uniform to the then and now renowned Alliance Girls' School, Casey lives on with an unaddressed burden within her heart. Having been pushed by nature into maturity against her will, having to live in a children's home and away from her siblings so as to be afforded a bursary and scholarship, having to lack for little essential girl requirements and even undergarments, yet still soldiering on like her entire life ahead depended on it. I mean, it honestly did depend on it, right? So going through stigmatization after the next, does she overcome bad urinary tract infection orders, stinking cavity infections that put off all the students around her, and yet all this with few people around to listen to her story and maybe come to her aid? Not that she was a victim in any way, but life had handed her a blow she had no way of dealing with at this point. A most notable bit she however points is her Swahili teacher and very bold classmate who hear her out, and this in turn makes life a bit bearable for her. She is afforded treatment covered under the Swahili teacher and regains her confidence back in the classroom. Now, popular perception would that this little Casey would flop in her classes, but glory to God and sufficiency in His grace affords Casey a clear and unrivaled path to the university. I mean, as recorded, hey, the Almighty works all things together for our good, right? Now check out Romans chapter 8 and verse 28, and it says, "And we know that all things work together for good, to them that love God, to them who are called according to His purpose." Did I mention that till now, Mama has not yet felt much better, and is still known as the mad woman from the cursed family? University, however, avails little Casey opportunities to make some money and be able to attend to her mama in the midst of breaks from classes and over the weekends. She does her undergraduate exams and sure passes with a good second upper division honors, and with the powers to read now conferred to her by her chancellors, she is ready for the job market. Her field of expertise is no easy feat as a medical representative, but beats the odds, rising to a managerial position, a position that earns her an extreme 3-day course of self-awareness, the same that in turn brings out the MANIC syndrome, prior silent in her system. This in turn activates an undesired bipolar 2 syndrome. A combination of these two mental illnesses, as witnessed in her mama earlier on, does not play well with her employers or even peers. Did I mention she worked in the pharmaceutical industry? Yet the same tagged her as mad and difficult to deal with. Quite ironical and even hypocritical, right? Her words were, if I may quote, "This is Africa. We Africans don't know how to handle such situations." And with this perspective, my dear trader, did our high-flying Casey lose her job not only once, but twice over. As I share this episode, it would be fair to let you know that Casey's mama fully recovered by God's grace and has been off medication for a straight 2 years. Glory to God, right? Casey herself acknowledges that she is mentally ill and undergoing her medications and seeing her therapist on the regular. Medications that, if you ask me, have had an adverse gain in her weight, but nonetheless have been quite effective. She tells me this narration quite hilariously. I find myself requesting her to allow me to laugh a number of times through it, which she does quite well. Pick out this moment she tells her subordinates that she is their Jesus, and you too will find it hilarious. Thank God for diagnosis and effectiveness of the medication. Her state is stable, and her acceptance of the same is most amazing. She has also discovered that she is quite good with people, and did I mention that her eloquency, diction, and command of the English language is off the hook? She shares this narration of her life with the hope that mentally ill persons will get the required attention, devoid of stigmatization at whatever level. I second her on this, as I assumingly attended 4 years of campus with her without even knowing any of this. Of more beauty is that this story reaches out more people and transforms our hearts into those of love previously intended for us through our Creator. Now I will leave a description of the manic attack and bipolar 2 syndromes in the description box below, but before I go, will I say, now this was Casey's story, but what's your story and what impact would it leave behind? Share your story with Pepasketches and let us see how much change we can bring to this society. Now until next time, my dear trader, stay blessed and stay safe. Paper, the sketches of life.